Hi, this is Matt with AppliancePartsPros.com. Today we'll be showing you how to repair your appliance. Remember, anytime you work on an appliance, make sure it's unplugged or the circuit breakers are off so there's no chance of electrocution. In this video, we're going to show you how to change out the Bosch Dishwasher Control Panel Frame. It's going to be a very easy repair and should only take a few minutes to show you how to do it. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can click on the link below or get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. When you open up the package, you're going to get the new control panel frame. The control panel frame is where the control panel mounts. The main reason you'll be changing it out is if the screw holes are stripped out and the screws aren't staying tight. In order to change the part, we have to open up the dishwasher door. Once you have the door open, we're going to use the Torx 20 driver to take out the 3 screws on each side. Once you have the screws out, you close the dishwasher door. Then we can pull the front panel off. We're just going to lift up on it a little bit and then pull out on it. If the baffles fall off, you can get those later. Once you have it out, drop it down and pull it off. Before we take the console apart, we're going to put a towel up on the countertop so we don't scratch the control panel when we take it off. Then we can open up the door. We're not going to open it up all the way, just far enough so we can use the Torx 20 driver to take out the screws that hold the console on. We're going to start with the ones on the side. If you have any problems with these screws coming out where all they do is spin, you may have to get behind them with a razor blade in order to flex on them so you can get it to come out. You just want to get behind the screw and put a little bit of light pressure from behind so the screw comes out. As you're taking this last screw out, you want to make sure you hold the control panel so it doesn't fall. Once you have the last screw out, you can close the door and drop the control panel down. Once you have it rotated down, we can take all the wires off. We're going to start at the control board. All these have locking tabs on them. You can use a small flathead screwdriver to press on them to get them to release if you have to. Once you have them off the control board, we can take the wire harness off the door switch itself. Just use the small flathead screwdriver to help pop it off. Then we can take the grounding wire off. There's a small release lever that you have to press on the back side. Then we take the wires off the start switch. Just a couple of release tabs here. Once you have all the wires off, we can set the control panel up onto the countertop. First, we're going to turn the control panel over and use the Torx 20 driver to take out the 2 screws. Now we can turn the control panel over, and we have to release the locking tab on each end. Just have to press it to the outside. Once you have the tabs pressed over, you can lift up on the control panel frame and separate it from the plastic control panel. Once you have it separated, you can set the plastic control panel aside. And then we have to remove everything from the control panel frame. We're going to start with the on-off switch first. To get it off, we're just going to use a small flathead screwdriver to press on these 2 locking tabs. And as you're pressing on them, you're going to push down on the on-off switch so they don't go back into the lock state. Then the switch will slide down. You can pull it out. Once you have it out, you can set it aside. Then we can take off the door switch assembly. We're just going to use a flathead screwdriver to get underneath these locking tabs. You actually have to bend these up Once you have them bent up, then we can pull down on the door switch assembly and pull it off the control panel frame and set it aside. Then we can take out the control board. We're just going to press on this release tab right here and then press in on these two locking tabs right here with the small flathead screwdriver while you're pushing against it so it goes back into the control panel frame. Once you have the tabs released, you can lift the control board out and set it aside. Then we can pull off this shield. It's just stuck to the control panel frame. So we're just going to carefully peel it back so we can reuse it. Once you have it off, you can set it aside. Once you have everything off, we can get the new one ready. Here's the old control panel frame next to the new one. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can get it at appliancepartspros.com. To put the new control panel frame together, first thing we're going to do is put the shield on. Just going to put it into the corner and stick it in. To put the control board back on, we're just going to lift up on the control panel frame a little bit and get this end underneath. Once you have it in place, we'll set it down and make sure the locking tabs lock into place. Once you have it secure, we can put the door switch on. To put it on, all you have to do is line it up so these little feet go into little indents here on each side. Once you have it in place, we can turn it over, and then we can use the flathead screwdriver to bend the locking tabs down. Once you have the locking tabs pressed in, we're going to lift up on the control panel so we can put the on-off switch in. Just want to line up the 4 locking feet with the 4 cutouts that have the L shapes, and then the locking tabs are going to go down into those 2 openings. So you just want to rotate it over, and then you can lift up on it to lock it in. Once you have it locked in, we're going to set the control panel frame down. We're going to grab the plastic control panel itself, and then there's these openings right here that we're going to set onto these mounting tabs across the control panel. Once you have those on, you can rotate it down and snap the end locking tabs into place. Then we can turn the assembly over and use the Torx 20 driver to put in the last 2 screws. Once you have the assembly put back together, we can put it on the dishwasher. To put the control panel assembly back in, all we have to do is hook up the wire harnesses. First, we're going to hook up the on and off switch. All you have to do is plug it in, make sure it locks on. We can do the ground wire. And the door switch. So we can do all the wires on the control board. These all have little tabs on them so you can't put the wires into the wrong slots. We're going to put the orange and the blue one down here on the end, and the red one, and the purple wire, then the double yellow, then the brown, purple, and gray, and the red and the gray, and the pink, blue, white, and gray. Once you have them all on, you can open up the dishwasher door and then rotate the control panel assembly up into place. Once you have it in place, you can open up the door enough so we can use the Torx 20 driver to put in the screws. Once you have these screws in, we can close the door and put the front panel on. Before we put the door back on, we have to put the baffles on. All you have to do is line these up and push them into the slot right there. To put the front panel on, you just want to lift the top up so it goes up into the control panel. Once you have it in place, you can push the bottom in. Then you want to hold it while you open up the door so we can put in the screws. We're going to use the Torx 20 driver to put the screws in. Once you have the screws tightened down, we can close the dishwasher door, take the towel out, plug it back in, and take it for a spin. Thanks for joining us for another successful repair brought to you by AppliancePartsPros.com. Check out our other repair videos on our site, Facebook, and YouTube.